This world is broken, but I will not let it fall. I stand as a beacon against the chaos. With every breath, I fight for hope. Rise with me, and we will reclaim the dawn.
Shalom, Bruce Leroy here. Thanks for visiting my channel, This is the Way. Today we're going back to the very beginning, not the version they taught you in school, but the real story backed by both scripture and hard evidence. Let's start with God's original design. In the beginning, God created a perfect world. No death, no fear, no violence. Everything lived in harmony.
Genesis 1:29-30 is very clear. Plants were food for both man and animal. No one was eating anyone else.
During the 7 days of creation, everything had purpose. On day 2, God created the firmament. Genesis 1:6-8 says he made this dome to separate the waters above from the waters below. Psalm 19:1 tells us the firmament shows his handiwork. Job 37:18 describes the sky as strong and spread out like a molten mirror. This firmament created a protected hyperbaric chamber. Denser air, much higher oxygen levels, higher atmospheric pressure. Science actually supports the idea of a vastly different ancient atmosphere. Back then, insects grew enormous. Dragonflies with wingspans over 2 feet, roaches the size of cats. The oxygen-rich environment allowed life to thrive at a scale we can barely imagine. Dinosaurs and 48 feet tall giants lived with man in those days. Humans lived 800 to 900 years because the air itself was regenerating their bodies on a cellular level. But then rebellion entered paradise. A powerful angelic being described as a shining serpent, very likely a majestic dragon like Seraph, approached Eve. She wasn't afraid of him. In that perfect world, fear doesn't exist.
What is it you wish to tell me?
The truth that will change everything.
No, this cannot be.
And sin entered, death entered the world. For the first time, an innocent animal had to die so God could cover Adam and Eve's shame with its skin. Now let's talk about what happened next.
We must trust.
Cain's descendants built cities. They worked with bronze and iron, created musical instruments. They built massive, highly advanced civilizations.
What we now call Atlantis, and the same megalithic building techniques you see in the Inca structures. Civilization was rising fast, but something far more sinister was unfolding.
The sons of God, 200 Watcher-class angelic beings, looked down, saw the daughters of men were beautiful, and came down to earth.
These are the exact same entities worshipped in every ancient culture as gods: Zeus, Odin, Horus, the Anunnaki. Same spirits, different names. According to the Book of Jasher, they didn't stop at humans. They taught men to mix animals of one species with another, corrupting the very seed God had created. They were doing ancient versions of genetic engineering. They taught sorcery, astrology, enchantments, charms, and the dark arts. They taught women the secrets of makeup and seduction, weaponizing sexual allure. The world became filled with violence, sexual perversion, and genetic corruption. Every imagination of man's heart was only evil continually. That's why you find statues of hybrid, half-man, half-animal beings all over the ancient worlds. Egypt, who were myths and legends as they claim. They were recording what they actually saw. The fossil record backs this up too. Dinosaur bones are found on mountaintops all over the world, mixed with marine fossils, seashells, crustaceans, ocean creatures.
This is powerful evidence of a sudden, catastrophic global flood, not slow processes over millions of years. The topography of the Earth was violently reshaped. What was once a single landmass was split apart rapidly.
After the flood, humanity tried to rebuild, but Nimrod rose up, a mighty hunter who rebelled against God. He led the people to build the Tower of Babel. They wanted to make a name for themselves and reach into the heavens.
God came down, confused their languages, and scattered them across the face of the earth. Every major culture tells the same core story: a global flood, gods from heaven, giants, a great tower, and divided languages.
They taught us we came from primordial soup, random chemicals in a puddle somehow coming to life through chance. But even many scientists have rejected this idea. Studies have shown the primordial soup theory has major bioenergetic and thermodynamic problems. It simply doesn't work. The more we learn about the complexity of DNA in the cell, the harder the idea of life arising by random chance becomes.
They also told us we live on a spinning ball flying through infinite space. But the Michelson-Morley experiment in 1887 tried to detect the Earth's motion through space and got a null result. No motion detected.
The space race and the moon landing was a psyop. We've never been to the moon. In fact, before that, they tried to break the firmament back in 1962 by launching high-yield nukes into it, called Operation Fishbowl.
If the old gods, the same watchers who corrupted the world but before the flood, are in Baghdad, they'll return as extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings that defy the laws of physics.
They'll come as Pleiadians, as Anunnaki, as so-called enlightened beings here to help or save humanity. The greatest deception in human history is being set up right now, but now, you know the real story from the very beginning.